Welcome to the Passion Project podcast, where we talk about passion, purpose, and the journey to becoming your best self. I'm your host, Ryan Monakil, a musician, entrepreneur, and lifelong learner. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into stories, lessons, and insights from incredible people who turned their passions into impact. Whether it's music, business, tech, or personal growth, this is your space to be inspired and take action. So sit back, tune in, and let's talk about what truly drives you. This is the Passion Project Podcast. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Passion Project Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Monakil, and we're back online. We're not doing this episode live due to logistical constraints because we have an international guest for today from across the globe, actually. It's like, I think we're 12 hours apart, so it's in the morning over there in our guest's uh, hometown. So, before we welcome our esteemed guest, uh, we'll just have just a brief introduction to her. She's a fearless creative who turned her love for photography into a thriving career, from juggling a full-time job in a hospital, if I'm not mistaken, and then shooting weddings on the weekends to becoming one of the hottest selling wedding videographers and elopement videographers, which is not really common here in the Philippines. So we'll be diving into her career, and let's start to maybe compare and contrast uh, normal things about weddings in the US and weddings here in the Philippines as well. So, yeah, without further ado, pasensya na sa mga nanonood ng kasi we have to speak English for our American guests and audiences as well. So without further ado, let's welcome Angelica Del Rosario into the show. All right. Well,
Hello.
good morning over there in North
Good evening over
Carolina. All right. So to start off, can you tell us a bit about you yourself, Mona?
Yeah, I'm Angelica. I'm actually Ryan's cousin.
Yeah.
Um, so I am a full-time wedding videographer and elopement videographer here in the States. I travel all over the country to, film weddings and adventure elopements. I actually went to, other countries as well, like Iceland and Mexico, to film weddings. And yeah, I have been full time for about 3 years now, and I never look back.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
just like happier here. So yeah, that's about it.
Great. All right, so let's backtrack a little bit because where did this all start for you? Because I remember when you migrated to the States that you started, like, I know you finished nursing, or am I right?
Yeah,
Or
no,
you
actually,
took
no,
nursing?
not nursing. I was taking nursing like what before, but then I kind of like switched to another healthcare, you know, like education.
Program. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. So I
So what
was
was your job during that time?
yeah, I was a radiology, like a mammography assistant. So I used
Mm.
to deal with a lot of like women, and it was just a very, you know, stressful job just because you see a lot of. Is my camera bright? Really bright?
A little bit, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah. You wanna adjust it?
Yes. Can we
Okay,
do that?
go. Yeah.
Okay.
Ganun talaga guys kasi videographer eh.
Sorry.
Go.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
you were looking at mammograms for a
Yes.
living. I didn't know that. I thought you were like a hospital admin or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
I,
was this a different job?
yes. So I used to like deal with like doctors' reports, and then I would like call the women and give them, if they need to come back for their mammograms, or to or like to schedule it as well. So I used
Oh,
to do a lot of that. So I would see like good and bad reports from the doctor. So it was a bit depressing, just because you see some reports there and you see like cancer and all that. So
yeah.
yeah, it was a hard job, like emotionally and like mentally. But I was so like grateful for that job, because I've learned a lot. I've learned how to talk to people, to um, just be, I learned about all about myself, because I used to be a very shy um,
Yes, yes.
person. You know that.
You
I was
know
like, I
that. Yeah.
always just like sit in one corner and not talk to anyone. But yeah, because of that job, I learned how to talk to people and to be more confident. So yeah.
Okay. So you learn how to deal with people, and of course, you when you see those things, how you have to deliver like your word. You have to have the right choice of words to say to the
Mhm.
people. Yeah.
Right.
But where did videography and photography come into play? Was it even here in the Philippines when you were still young? Was it, or is
Mm,
just a hobby you picked up in the States?
no, yeah. So I moved to the States 18 years ago, I think.
Mhm.
And then when I moved to LA, I didn't have any friends at that time. It was like a totally completely, different environment for me. And so all I had at that time was like a little point and shoot camera.
Mm.
So that's what I used to, you know, just to like have fun, even though I don't have any friends. So yeah, I used to have like a little point and shoot camera. I would use that, during the weekends, and just, photograph, some things in the park. And being in LA, I was like really close to a lot of scenic areas. So I was lucky enough to have that. So yeah, it was like just a hobby.
So it
Back.
was like your outlet, like
Yes, exactly.
to express yourself. So
Yes.
may I know what type of camera was it? Like,
It was like a little Sony point and shoot camera. Those they're very popular back in like late 2000s.
yeah,
So
like we call it like a digicam like that. Yeah.
yes.
So you were like a scenic. Your subjects were like the landscapes and
Yeah.
the
And I
scene.
also loved like street photography back then. So like shooting like not shooting, but like photographing people.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
want to say that one.
Yeah, of course, of course. You have to be a little bit careful. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was you weren't really shooting or taking pictures of people.
Hmm.
So how does this translate into your wedding videography career?
Yeah. So, like, when I was still working at that radiology facility, one of my coworkers, because at that time I've been doing a lot of like travel videos just for fun.
Mm. So
Like I
you've
said,
already been doing travel
yes,
videos.
yeah, yeah. So I would
Mm.
post it on YouTube and Facebook, and one of my coworkers saw that, and one day she went into my cubicle and she's like, "Hey, Angelica, can you film my wedding?" And I was like,
Mm.
I don't know anything about weddings, but you know, I want to try it. So let's see what happens. So, she paid me like probably, I don't know, it was very cheap, like $300 for
Oh,
a
okay.
full day of
Yeah, yeah.
wedding. And after that wedding, I was like, oh my God, this is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing happy people, like during the happiest day, like one of the happiest days of their lives. It's just
Nice.
really amazing. It's like the complete opposite from what I'm doing at my job. It's just so like refreshing. So after that wedding, I started, advertising myself on Craigslist at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, and then on like Facebook, I like, if you guys haven't know any, people that are getting married, I wanna film it, even for free at that time, just so I can just have something to do like during the weekends. So yeah, I got like a few weddings that first year, probably like two weddings, and I shot it for almost for free. So yeah, after that, I was like, I want to do this more. So yeah,
So, did they feed you?
yeah, they did. Yeah, they were nice enough to feed me. Like now, I put it on in the contract that I have
Like
to have meals.
daily?
But back then, I was like, it's okay if you don't, if you don't feed me, I will be fine. But yeah, they were also nice. So yeah, I did
Okay.
eat.
So, just to clarify, especially here in the audience in the Philippines, because
Mhm.
I don't really I don't know the hype about weddings. Of course, I work with weddings as well. So,
Yeah,
have you attended a wedding here in the Philippines like recently?
not really.
Okay.
No. The
What
last time
can
I
you
attended
like?
a wedding, there was when I was pretty young.
Pretty young,
So
yeah.
I'm not really
And
familiar with the weddings there, because I feel like the weddings there are more, are bigger and
yes, yeah,
more luxurious,
extravagant.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So because what I'm trying to say is that you're just doing the videography in these weddings that
Mhm.
you did. Okay.
Yeah,
So did they have like their own photographers?
they do. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
They hire their
so they
own
hire you in a
photographers, and then I'm like
different
a separate thing. Yeah, it's a separate
because
videographer.
like here in the
Mhm.
Philippines they have like tons of shooters. Like I don't
Yeah,
know, I think maybe a team of 10 is like a small
yeah.
team. It's
Uh-huh.
so extravagant and it's really different because I've seen some weddings of my friends there in the US as well.
Hmm.
Like it's very very simple. It's really different over here. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so you started at the as your as a single person shooting everything, right? So
Yeah,
until now, do you do it on your own?
I still do. Yeah, like 90% of the time, I go to weddings by myself and shoot
Mm.
solo. Yeah,
And then you
unless
also do the editing and everything
yes,
else.
yes, I do everything else. Yeah.
Um, Here in the Philippines, they have this what they call this same day edits. Do you do that as
Yeah.
well?
No
Oh, okay.
power to do that. It's like time consuming, and
Yeah, for
during a
sure.
wedding day, there's a lot of things to do, like especially before the ceremony it's a lot, and then after. So I feel like I don't just have the time to
Yeah,
do that
yeah. I think it would be you
especially
would
being
charge
a recruiter,
differently. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just also just for our audiences here in the
Mhm.
Philippines. So you said $300 was a little too small. How
Yeah,
much do you charge? I mean, what was the standard rate during that time? What do you think?
during that time.
Mm-hmm. Like,
um
of course, if you wanted to advertise your services,
yeah,
how much does this actually range? If you're a beginner or if someone wants to start videography,
yeah, so I
what
feel
would
like
you
if you're a beginner, you could charge from like 1,500 to about $2,500. And then for like mid-range, it starts at like 3,500 to
do?
about $4,500. And then there's like luxurious, wedding videographers that charge even more,
Yeah,
like from 6K to almost like 20,000. Yeah, I've heard
for a single
that
event.
some videographers charge that much for like a more luxurious side of weddings. I'm more in like the middle now. So I don't really go to like very luxurious weddings. I just want, like, because my style is a very chill
Personal.
documentary,
Mhm.
like organic film. So I try to like stay in that middle
Middle ground, yeah, for
ground.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wanna be attainable by more people, right?
Yes,
But you could also like
exactly.
do high end stuff. Now let's talk
Right.
about the elopement thing.
Yeah, I love elopement.
So this is like really new to me even. Like
Really?
what? How does this work? Can you talk
Hmm.
about a tiny bit about it?
Yeah, so elopement weddings, I actually they have a special place in my heart because they're so special. They're so like intimate. So usually with elopement weddings, there's only a few people that
Mhm.
are invited in the wedding. Mostly, it's like some elopements, it's only just the couple and the
Mm.
photographer and the videographer.
Like
Um,
it's literally we call this in the Philippines tanan, 'di ba? Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nagtatanan sila and they want it to be recorded. So what happens during this elopement thing?
Yeah, so I have filmed some elopements where we would go in like a mountaintop, right? And
Mm.
they would just exchange their vows there with an officiant.
Oh,
And
they're
then,
still inefficient.
yeah, they're still an officiant.
Alright.
Because here in North Carolina, you still have to have like an officiant and some like witnesses.
Of course,
So,
yeah.
so
It's
yeah,
required by the law, right?
right, yeah. But then if you go to another state, like in Colorado, they don't require witnesses, so you can just like
Mm. So
sign papers
you
and then you're married.
I see.
Yeah, so we would go to like a mountaintop and then they would exchange their vows there, which is so special because in bigger weddings I feel like people tend to be more like nervous,
Yeah.
when they're like in front of everyone and
Because
with
they
with
don't act like themselves, right?
yes, yeah, exactly. But with elopements, with intimate weddings, they just enjoy being together. And like especially with when there's like family, they're like immediate family.
Mhm.
I have shot a wedding back in, I think, November. I can't remember. It was like October, November, and they just rented an Airbnb, a lakeside Airbnb, and that's where they get married. And then they hired like a private chef, and
Wow.
yeah, they ate like a special dinner after the ceremony, and it was
That's
just
nice.
so nice. It feels so like genuine, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But it's one of my favorite things to film. I also love bigger weddings, but I feel like my favorite would be like more
The
intimate
intimate
weddings.
elopement weddings. We
Yeah.
have to make that uso here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Dapat gawin natin 'yan, eh.
Yeah. And it's
Because, a
such
lot of people just want their weddings to be so extravagant, and
yeah.
now that, money is a little bit tight during
Yeah.
these times, I think this is a nice option to also
Mm-hmm.
have for like couples who don't really know who to invite, like,
Right.
people who are not really into large crowds and just want
Yeah.
to enjoy it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like an introvert person, it's perfect, for people like that. Because yeah, you just get to enjoy it without dealing with a lot of people with a lot of stress too. Because with bigger weddings, you have to plan more with
Yeah,
that.
of
But
course.
with intimate weddings, it's very simple.
It's
So
like,
yeah,
"Oh, let's get married today," like that. But
yeah,
I don't think it will work here in the Philippines because of the laws and all. Maybe
yeah.
it's a different like thing. But
Uh,
anyway, yeah. Since we're in this already,
mhm,
you said that you were doing this on the weekends.
mhm.
When was the turning point that you think that, oh, I can make this a career?
Yeah, so that was during the pandemic. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone
Do you
realized
remember?
things during the pandemic. So like in 2020, I think after I came back from the
Mhm,
Philippines,
mhm.
last time I went there, I went back to my job. Luckily I was still working because I work in healthcare, so I was still working.
You're always exposed.
Yeah, I know. And like at that time I would go to work and I would feel like, this is just very repetitious. Is that the right word?
Repetitive, maybe.
Repetitive. Okay. And like I would just like go to my work and sit in my cubicle, and I would look out the window and be like, is this going to be my life forever? Like I would just
Forever.
go to work here. I mean, I was very, thankful for that job, don't get me wrong. That job was like, it helped me a lot as, a person. But I was like, this is not going to be my life forever. So I thought that if I moved to another workplace,
Mhm.
another work environment, that it will make me feel better, that I will be happier. So that's what I did. I looked for another job. I got a job at one of like the biggest hospitals here in North Carolina. And then, I had to move to another city because it's
Uh-huh.
located in another city. So that's what I did. And then, during my second day, I was like, I don't feel it. I feel the same way, I don't feel different here. Like I still feel somehow like miserable on the inside, I guess.
It's like
But
you know that you're capable of more things than just
yeah,
sitting in a
yeah. It's
cubicle or something.
it's not like moving to another job. There's something else that I need to change with my life.
Yeah.
And so I was like, one day I was browsing on YouTube, and then I saw this girl, and she said that she was like making a lot of money with wedding videography. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I'm doing that. If she became
She can
successful,
do it.
then I can do it too. So I started like listening to wedding videography podcast, and I reached out to this girl because she was like doing mentorship at that time. So I reached out to her, and she became my mentor. So I met up with her in Utah, and I came with her at one of her weddings, and I was like, wow, I've learned a lot from her by just like, observing her how to film a wedding, and what, audio she uses, and cameras and lenses. And so after that mentorship, I worked even harder. I listened to more podcasts, and I built a website for myself. And I did a lot of things because I was already desperate, I guess, to get out of my healthcare job. So I would go to work, and then I have like a notebook with me, and then I would put like a goal there, and then a goal date, a goal like quit
Quitting date, something
date.
like that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so by February 2022, I'm gonna quit my job. And
So
then I
it
was
didn't like take like a month after.
no,
It
mm-mm.
was a long time coming as well.
Yeah, it was a gradual process,
Yeah, yeah,
because if you plan on like quitting your job, you have to make a plan A, plan B, and plan C, just in
yeah.
case plan A fails. Especially in this economy, you have to be smart before you take a leap.
A leap of faith,
Yeah,
literally.
exactly. Yeah, so that's what I did. Like I gradually just like worked on marketing myself, and like networking with other wedding vendors. And yeah, so luckily I booked enough weddings for the next year, and by December I was like, oh, this is working. So I I might be able to quit my job. So yeah, January came, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I did the math. I think I will be good for that year, to pay all my bills, and I think it's time to quit. And then I was so scared. So by the end of January, I wrote my resignation letter. And I was like, oh, should I send this? I was so scared. And then I kept asking my mom, I was like, should I really do this? And luckily, like both of my parents were very supportive. Because when I was in like in my early 20s, they wanted me to become a nurse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, sorry, I don't really want to be a nurse. So yeah, they were very supportive, and they're like, yeah, if you want it, just go do it, you know. So I did it, and I sent my resignation letter, and it felt like a heavy weight got like lifted, and for me. So yeah, it was like one of the scariest and happiest moments of my life when I did that.
Wow.
And
That's
I
really
don't
great.
regret like my decision even now. I mean,
Now.
having a business is not always easy, but it's it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Great, great. I remember during the pandemic, you were supposed to be stuck here
Yeah,
in the
I know.
Philippines, right? Yeah, my
That was
brother's
like the
commenting.
day,
Yeah,
like two
but
days
like March.
before they closed
Yeah, I
the
think
border.
we were in a coffee shop in like
Yeah.
on March 13, I think,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
then the president was like announcing that all airports will be closed on March 15th, right?
Yes.
Your flight was March 14th.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
we were able to leave the country. But what
Yeah.
if you stayed here? What will happen?
I
What
don't
do you
know.
think?
I'd probably sell some lumpia or whatever.
You'll be selling a lot of food. But I think a lot of people just realized how
Mhm.
important, prioritizing like your feelings and your life goals
Yes.
are when the pandemic hit, because it was
Yes.
like you didn't know if you would see the day that
Right.
you were
Yeah.
going to leave the earth. It was very, very scary for a lot of people.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
as they say, during crisis, that's where you really make something out of yourself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
You'd realize that life is too short to not be doing the things that
the things
you
that
you like. So why not do now than to wait? So yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah, but
agree.
I guess you really also have to think about the consequences. You can't just
Right.
quit cold turkey and
Yes.
like, oh, just do
Exactly.
it, no,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
have bills to pay and all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I have bills to pay too. So and you don't have any backup plans, then you're screwed. So you have to be smart before you do that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I think I can make this work, and then you quit at
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
also, maybe we should also acknowledge that your parents were also supportive in
Yeah.
the decisions that you were making. Because,
Yeah.
if they didn't want you to do it, you won't really have the courage or the guts to just
Mm-hmm.
go all in on it. All right.
Right. Yeah.
Um, After you transitioned into making this full time, what are the main challenges that you experienced?
So probably one of the biggest challenges that I've experienced was like managing my own time,
Mm-hmm.
because once you have your own business, you play a lot of roles. You're the boss. In my case, I'm the videographer, I'm the editor, I'm
The
the
accountant.
admin. I have to like I'm the marketing person too, so I play a lot of roles. So when I quit my job, I remember, instead of working 8 hours a day, I would work 16 hours a day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because you want to make it work. So I worked super hard that first few months, and then I realized that, oh my gosh, this is just like too much, because I would work during the week, and then on the weekends I'd shoot a wedding. So
Mhm.
it was just too much. And then I realized that I need to make a work schedule. Monday to Friday I would just work from 9 to 4, and then after 4 o'clock I'll turn off my computer and just go walk outside and read a book and things like that. So yeah, that was like the biggest challenge, transitioning to
Yeah.
having my
Because
own business.
as an employee, you know when you start, you know where you end. But as a business person, like even if you wake up and like there would be, you have to answer inquiries because
Yes.
people don't during this day and age, people just think that you're awake 24 hours, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Because I
know.
experienced that the same way, We have clients calling at 1 a.m.,
Yeah, yeah,
messaging you at 3, and then they
yeah.
expect you to answer,
Right away. Yeah,
because
I
of
agree.
how connected we are, So
Right.
by creating your own schedule, it
Mm-hmm.
gave you it it gave you like more freedom to actually do other things because you
Yes.
know I think as business persons, you really don't want to spend all your time in a business as well
Mm-hmm.
because it could also lead to burnout, right?
Yes, that's true. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You can't just be all in and all in without also prioritizing your health. Oh, okay. Now let's try to talk about your other uh endeavors that are
Yeah.
also like your passion, like your photography,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you talk about that as well?
Yeah. So I also do landscape photography. I'm not sure if I should consider myself as a professional landscape photographer, but
Mhm.
I've sold some prints before, so I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I love to travel. I have been to a lot of like scenic places. And so, on my travels, I'd bring my camera with me and I just take, photos of different landscapes, just for fun. And then, yeah, one day I got an offer from like our community to do like a bazaar, like I don't know what you call that,
Like
like an art
fair
convention. Yeah, yeah, something like
or
that. So
exhibit, something like that.
yeah. So
Um,
I sold some prints there, and like the first sale that I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I just sold a print, so people actually like my work. So yeah, I would just like photograph, I especially like mountain sceneries. I absolutely love that. But yeah,
that's great. Okay, but is it uh, uh do you consider it like a part of your business, or is it like this one is the side hustle?
yeah. So after like I did, well, now that I'm doing wedding videography, the landscape photography side is now my kind of like a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now that's like my outlet. If I get like
Mm,
when I get overwhelmed with editing wedding films, sometimes I would just like go out of the country or out of state and travel to somewhere nice, and take pictures there. And then when I come back, I feel more refreshed to go back on my wedding edits. And yeah, it's like a creative outlet.
nice. But
Hmm.
it's still in the same like form or media.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good, no? That you
Yeah.
don't really need like you could like use the things that you use for your videography is the same thing,
Yes,
and you get
exactly.
to enjoy and visit different places. So I
Yeah.
think you said you visited at least 21 countries. So
Yes.
which one is the best one for you? Like the best, I don't know, maybe best scene or the
Best.
best view that
Yeah.
you've ever been to?
That's actually hard. I get that question a lot from
Mhm.
people, and every time I get asked that question, I'm like, that's a tough question. But if I had to choose one, I guess it would be Nepal. When I
Nepal.
went to Everest Base Camp,
Nice.
yeah, because when in the Himalayas, you're always surrounded by these big mountains, that are super high. Like especially Mount Everest. That was
Mhm.
like such a surreal moment to be. seeing that in person. So that's probably the best one. Yeah.
Nice. I remember when you went to that base camp, like everyone was super worried because
Really?
you were like posting stories that you lost, like you're losing your breath and
Yeah.
everything like that.
It was
What
it
was
was
your
like
what was the experience like?
it was tough. It was probably the toughest thing that I've ever done in my life, like physically and mentally. Because
Mhm.
so it's a total of a 12-day hike.
12
So,
days.
yes. So you ride a plane from Kathmandu, like a tiny, tiny plane, to this mountain airport. The name is Lukla, and it's like the airstrip. What do you call that? Like a airstrip.
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
it's on the side
Runway.
runway. Yeah, it's on the side of a cliff. So
Oh.
it's like surrounded by like tall mountains. So it was very scary. It's actually one of the most dangerous airports in the world.
Oh my god.
So you ride a plane to that, and then from there you trek for 9 days, all the way to base camp. And
This
you
is
know,
in snow, right?
not really.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Once you get closer to base camp, then you see snow. But yeah, you're in a high altitude
Altitude
area, so you start from I think 9,000 meters, and then you
above sea.
go. Oh, no, hold on, because here we're using feet, so I'm really
Uh-huh.
not sure with like
You can use whatever
feet.
conversion to
Okay, yeah, so it starts at like 9,000 feet, and then
9,000 feet.
yeah, it goes all the way up to I think 18, close
Mhm.
to 18,000 feet. And then once you pass 14,000 feet, your oxygen level, it
Yeah,
drops a bit,
drop.
because of the altitude. So it was hard. Like we started with 14. Our group was like 14 people when we started, and then it went down to about like 10. So luckily,
What
I
happened
made
to them? Did they
I made
they
it
went
back.
home?
Yeah, they got altitude sickness.
Oh. Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, it was serious. But yeah, luckily I made it there and back.
Nice.
And yeah,
If
I
you
didn't think I
knew
would make it because I'm not the most
I know,
athletic
right?
and you know, um, like physically. What do you call that? Like physically
Shit. I don't know. Yeah.
person. But yeah, just
But
believe in
did you
yourself and
prepare? But did you prepare? Like, did you train for that? Because of course, a 12-day hike is not something like you do spontaneously, right?
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
do
I
like training for that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. So I booked the trip like in October of 2022, and then after I booked it, I would go to the gym regularly and do my cardio and
Mhm.
some, like I would like lift weights a little bit, and yeah, just train, and then I ate like better, food, I guess, more veggies, more
More whole
healthier.
foods. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And drank a lot of water. And then I would go to like the mountains here and do like some trial hikes.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah, I
the
did.
the altitude is different.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it was one of the most amazing
Yeah.
things I've ever done in my life. Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Since you've been to like a lot of countries, do you think this has influenced your way of thinking, like your perspective in life as well?
Yes, absolutely. Like traveling, I encourage everyone to travel. Like every person that I meet, I always tell them to just travel and experience things out of their like comfort zone. Just because it's eye opening. You see, you meet a lot of people. You learn about their culture and their traditions, and yeah, it's very eye opening. And for me, like I again, I was a very shy person, but
Yeah.
especially traveling solo, I learned how to, make friends with strangers. And yeah, it was just fun because you meet a lot of people. In fact, I met the guy that I'm dating now. I met him in Everest base camp.
Oh,
During
okay.
yeah, he was like
Even with you.
a part of our group, and then we just connected after that. So yeah, just travel and meet people. And if you wanna date someone, I guess instead
Maybe
of
I
using
need to
dating
travel
apps
more.
like Tinder, just go travel and you'll meet people.
It's more organic,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I think you went. Where was the most exotic place that you visited?
Wow. Okay.
I think
Oh,
you and your brother went to
yes.
Africa, right? Yeah,
Yes, we went to Namibia. Yeah,
Namibia.
that's probably one of the best travels that I did too with my brother. Because over there it's just so like bare, and like the land is just super like wide open and big, and I've never been to anywhere like that before. So yeah, it was probably one of the most exotic, and there's not much tourists there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't you afraid like you might be captured by I don't know.
Yeah, at first when we were planning it, I was like, should we not do like because we rented a camper truck, I
Truck,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we would just like go to like a campsite and sleep there for the night, and then move again to another campsite. But yeah, when we were first planning the trip, I was like, is it safe? Because it's in Africa. It's like close to like Congo or something like that. But no, it like Namibia is one of the safest country I've ever been to. Like everyone was so nice and so friendly, and yeah, I really want to go back there one day.
Nice.
Yeah,
But what that would be your like most exotic place that
yeah,
you've.
yeah.
How
For
about the
now,
food? Food.
the food was good. Yeah, yeah. Like
Did you
we
eat
would.
like exotic food? But we're Filipinos, so we eat a lot of exotic
Yeah,
food anyway.
no.
It's like,
Yeah, we did. We ate I think
hmm,
alligator meat, and what else? I can't remember, but we ate some game.
game
Game.
meat.
Yes.
Uh, for now, what is the where would you want to go next? Like something that really piques your interest.
Yeah.
There,
So I really want to go back to Africa and trek to Mount Kilimanjaro. So it's like
wow,
the
yeah.
tallest mountain in Africa, and it's like the top of it is even taller than Everest Base Camp. So it's another high altitude trek.
So you
Yeah,
still need to work on it. Like you need to
yeah,
work out and everything else.
yeah. My mom is always like, why are you doing these crazy things? Why can't you just go to, an island somewhere and just have fun there? Why do you have to do this crazy things? Like this is, so much fun. Like it makes you feel more alive, I guess. So yeah.
Instead of like going to theme parks, you go
Yeah.
hiking in, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
then we just see if you're okay when your signal's good.
Right.
So I think your adventures really bring you to a lot of places. How about in America? Like which place was like the best for you?
Yeah. So here, one of my favorite places is probably in Utah, in the
Utah.
Utah area. So all the national parks there, like Arches National Park and Zion. It looks like Mars there. So
Mm,
there's everything is like
right.
red. So I love that area. I love photographing there too. Yeah.
Have you ever been to all 50 states? or is that like a target of yours or not?
Not really. Yeah, I've been to most states, but yeah, it's not really one of my. It's not my goal to do that. But maybe someday with my
Yeah.
weddings too. Yeah, I love.
Maybe someone books you in like all 50 states, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm so excited because some of my weddings this year are in like states that I've never been before. So I'm really excited to to see new places and capture weddings there. So yeah.
So going back to your like wedding videography,
hmm
when when you do you usually just book here there in North Carolina, or anywhere would be a possibility?
Yeah, I actually book anywhere. Like I would travel if me we fit, like the couples and me like fit, then yeah, I'd travel anywhere. Like I said in the beginning, I traveled to Iceland and
Hmm.
captured this. They're really fun. This couple was really fun. They got married inside a glacier in Iceland
Wow.
in like an ice cave, and there were such fun couple to work with. And then after the wedding, we all rented camper vans, and we traveled across Iceland, and I also filmed that adventure of them, so it was really fun. But yeah, if the weddings are fit with my style, then yes, I would travel anywhere.
So
You have
people
a
might
wedding
be
in
asking,
the Philippines, let me know.
book her in the Philippines so she could get a vacation too, right?
Yes.
Anyway, going back, since you do this full time, right? How do you
hmm
manage to travel? Like, you don't travel like 3 days. You go out of the country for like months on end, and
Yeah.
still manage to work full time and as a wedding videographer. How do you do that? How many weddings should cover your entire year's worth of like bills and
Mhm.
everything else?
Yeah. So that's probably one of the things that I love about my business is the flexibility of, you know, me traveling and then going back and still work. So yeah, like for me, I try to travel at least once or
Once a
twice a
year.
year, but like long in like not just 3 days, but like 1 or 2 weeks each travel time. So yeah, luckily for me, because the wedding season here, it's
Mhm.
like I'm not as busy. Like my what am I trying to say here? The
The
busiest months for me for weddings are probably like April, May, and then it goes back again in like August, September, October, and November.
mhm,
So during my low, months, that's when I can travel.
travel.
So, which is really nice. And then during my peak, months, then I just work on weddings. And then in the winter again, in like December, January, I can travel again. So,
Oh,
you know,
really? Not a
yeah,
lot of weddings happen during December and January?
no, mm-mm.
Oh, maybe because it's winter time, right?
Yeah, it's cold outside and it's always gloomy. So yeah, usually it's always like spring. I try not to book anything in the summer just because it's
It's so
super
hot,
hot
yeah?
here. So spring and fall are my
Fall.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
those are my busiest months.
So right here in the Philippines is usually, I think it starts at September,
Yeah.
because like August is like a ghost month. I don't know if that
Right.
applies there. And then September to December, January until
Okay.
early March, and then after that is like, if it's like Holy Week,
Mm-hmm.
near Holy Week, there's like not a lot of
Really?
weddings happening. And
What about
then
June?
it picks up at around June,
Okay.
July, and then August is like it's like a no-fly zone.
Really?
There's not a lot of events happening in August, especially.
Okay. Is
So
it because of the weather too?
I think it's not about the weather. It's more superstitious
Oh,
beliefs.
really?
Yeah, yeah. It's more
Okay.
of the superstitious beliefs. And
Okay.
then, of course, December is like everyone's trying to get married in December. And
Yeah.
then, special dates like if there's like, for example, 2025, 25,
Mhm.
25, something like that. A
Yeah.
lot, a lot of people get married on those dates as well.
Okay.
I see there's a lot of differences in the wedding culture here and in America
Yeah.
as well, no?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, how extravagant it gets here. Like
Yeah.
they hire aside from just to share, aside from photographers and videographers, they
Mm-hmm.
also hire like they call it wedding content creators. They do
Yes.
like behind the scenes things and just do vlogs for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I've actually worked with one here. She's really amazing. She's very friendly, but yeah, she would just like use her phone and take videos and pictures, and then
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end of the day, she would like send it to the couple so that they can post it on their social media. Which
Their
is
hashtags or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, have you ever worked with a Filipino couple or somebody like Filipino or I don't know, maybe the husband or the wife is Filipino?
Yes, I did. Actually, just in January of this
Mm.
year, I didn't even realize that she's Filipino until I was at the wedding and I heard her mom talk to her.
Tagalog.
I was like, oh, okay. And then like slowly like Filipinos started coming in to guest. I was like,
Mhm.
oh wow, this is gonna be fun. All the titas and titos are here.
So there's lumpia.
No,
Oh, no lumpia.
no lumpia because
Oh,
they hired like a
sad lumpia.
caterer. So I'm like, it's okay.
That's nice. At least you worked with like Filipinos as well.
Yeah, and they're super
Um,
nice too. Yeah.
since you're doing this all on your own, have you
Mhm.
ever thought about scaling the business, like hiring people to do some work for you, or maybe be
Mhm.
a second shooter, maybe?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, for second shooters, yeah, sometimes I actually need them. So probably like 2 years ago, my sister was actually helping me to
Mhm.
film weddings. So I would bring her at a wedding and then just like, help me shoot there. But now that she she has a more busy job and she
Schedule.
just graduated
Maybe
from
she could be our next guest.
I know, yeah. Yeah, so I don't have her anymore, so I have to like hire some videographers to help me film a wedding. And then for editing, when I was like really busy, like probably in 2023, I took a lot of weddings that year.
Mhm.
So I had to hire my friend, my high school friend in the Philippines, to help me with some edits.
Editing.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a big help. I actually love it when I hire people because I can't do everything.
Of
When
course.
I edit, I want to be focused with that video and with storytelling and all of that. So if I'm like super busy like that, I want to just ask for help from other people.
You
So
can send them my way too, huh?
okay.
If you need help. But
Okay.
have you ever like imagine yourself with like a big production company being a boss, or is it like you just want to keep it as small as possible
Mhm.
just to preserve like the quality of your work?
Yes. Yeah, I don't want a big, you know, production. I don't want my business to be like a production
Mhm.
wedding video company because I feel like when you have so many people during a wedding day, it takes out the fun for
Yeah.
the couple because it pretty much looks like a, production rather than just capturing the memories for them. So like I said before, like my style is very organic. I try to be unobtrusive
Yeah, yeah.
during the wedding day. So I just capture whatever is happening in front of me rather than staging, like poses. Because I see a lot of, especially in the Philippines, they're, don't get me wrong, they're all amazing. Like every time I would
Mhm.
watch a video, I'd be like, wow, that's so amazing. But my style is very organic. I want it
Organic.
to look like, your parents' 90s wedding video,
Mhm.
just like a home video that you play on TV. Yeah, because like years from now, that's what you want to remember, not the
Not the
post
poses, yeah.
for me at least. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just want to be working, just by myself if possible. But if I need help, I just want to hire like another person to help me with
Mhm.
that. But I don't want it to be like a production
Yeah. Plus,
crew.
I think it would take like it's your personal brand, and people
Hmm.
hire you for you. And if you
Yeah,
just send other people their way, it wouldn't be the same.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah. Because right now, if I want to, I can hire, a videographer to film the wedding for me instead of myself, and
You and
hire
then just
someone to edit for me. But people book me because of my personality and my style of
Mhm.
filming and editing. So, I like, and it makes me happy too. Like, why would I do that if I enjoy filming and, creating these videos, and storytelling for people. So yeah, I'm just like having fun with my job. So I don't want to hire
But of
more people.
course, this type of work that you do is also a little bit taxing, you know. It needs a
Yeah.
lot of effort and a lot of work. Do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your career, or do you see yourself maybe transitioning to a different passion project in the future?
Mhm. Actually, I've talked about this, with Tim, but I feel like probably no.
Mhm.
I probably won't do this for the rest of my life because I'll get old too. What like
You
when
get
I
to a point where you can't lift
yeah
up the camera, of course.
yeah, because you have to bring all of your stuff, and it's a physically demanding job because you
Yeah.
stand all day for like 8 hours, sometimes 10. So yeah, maybe I'll discover something else that I enjoy, doing. But yeah, we'll see. Right now I am enjoying this, and I don't see myself quitting in the near future. But yeah, I'll keep this job
As
as much
long as we
as
can.
possible. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, because I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they say like the cliche is like if you find a
Mhm.
job that you love, you don't work for the rest of your life, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So you
Yes.
have this feeling. But of course, there will come a time or some point in our lives that we have to also face the realities of things, right?
Yeah.
For especially for this type of things that we do, no?
Hmm.
Because the stock or the money that we make comes from us, right? As
Hmm.
artists, as I don't know. So it's really something that is a job, but it's also becomes your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's something that you just can't let go. It's not like okay, selling a business or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Because this job of mine is like my little baby. So yeah, I love it.
and it's you. It's you. You are the business. You
Yeah.
are the job.
Yeah. Exactly. Hmm.
All right. Oh, let's talk about um can you like give advice for some people who want to take on this career path or passion that you are taking up right now?
Yeah. I'd say just believe in yourself and always stay positive and, don't listen to any negativities around you because not everyone will agree with your, whatever you want to do with your life, especially in our culture. Like a lot of our parents just wants the best for us, so they think that becoming a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer will make us very successful in life, but it's not only that. You also have to think about your happiness. Does that make you happy? Like for me, like becoming a nurse, I knew from the very beginning that it wasn't what I wanted. So I was like, yeah, no. So yeah, just just believe in yourself and make it work, and always have a plan B just in case plan A
Doesn't work.
fails. Yeah.
So what was
Mhm.
your plan B?
My plan B was to just uh like go back to not go back, but like find another job. Like
A
if
different
I don't
one.
make enough money, then I can apply for another job. And
Mm.
because my job is very like I can work anywhere pretty much, any like healthcare facility, so it's easy to find a job. But yeah, yeah, that was like my plan B.
That's great. At
Yeah.
least you still have like in other options as well, because
Yeah.
a lot of times people just dive into things and they don't
Hmm.
think about the consequences of the things
Right.
that they're
Yeah.
doing. So
Yeah, you
it's
have to.
important to really like have something that you uh can cling on to, right?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
always have something to fall back on as well.
Yeah,
Not
exactly. Also, when you quit, you have to have like a little bit of savings just in case something doesn't work. Then you have that cushion to depend on when something
yeah.
like that happens. So yeah.
How about some misconceptions? What do you think are the common misconceptions that people think about you as a freelancer? Because of course you don't post your struggles on social media, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
they see is like, oh, she's just traveling around the
Yeah.
world or going
Exactly.
to places like, you know,
I feel like people think that once you have your own business, that everything will be a lot easier and you have more freedom and more time for yourself. But actually, no, that's not true, because once you have your own business, you have to work extra hard. If you're already working hard at your 9 to 5 job before, you have to work extra hard for your own business, because your business depends on you. Your paycheck depends on you, so you have to work extra hard and you have to have a lot more discipline. So yeah, yeah, it's not easy, it's not always easy. Like booking weddings is probably one of the hardest things on my business, because I
Mhm.
have to constantly market myself and connect with other wedding vendors. And yeah, I always have to constantly work. Because if I slack of like marketing, then I won't book anything. So, and I've learned it the hard way. I slacked last year and I was like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Weddings will come, and then nothing came
Nothing
for
came.
like months. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, you
Plus,
have to like,
yeah,
work.
when you have your own business and you are the one you're the one creating your future, right? You're the
Yes,
one
exactly.
curating what will happen to you,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Do you have like bad experiences with clients? Have you had
Um,
like
so
bad
far,
feelings?
not actually. I'm
Really?
lucky. Yeah, no. Yeah, not once actually. Like all of the clients, that book with me were all super nice and very, like, yeah, they're all super nice. So far, no, I've never had
Great,
any
great.
bad clients. Yeah.
I have a lot, but
Really?
maybe in another time. Maybe not client's fault, maybe it's
Yeah.
other suppliers' faults as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. But I think in this industry you really have to protect yourself, right? You
Yes,
have to protect
exactly.
yourself through contracts. You have to
Mm-hmm.
be able to foresee what things that might happen uh beforehand or
Right.
based on your past experiences as well. So bad
Yes,
things won't
exactly.
happen again. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to be honest, right?
Yes.
To be in a business, like you have to think of things even before they happen, or even if they don't happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
one of the hardest things. Right? So
Yeah.
you really need to be secured on a
Right.
lot of things, right?
Yeah, because with owning a business, you don't have a boss to report to when something bad happens. Like you have to deal it with yourself.
You have to
So
make the decision yourself,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
and you also deal with the consequences of your decision.
Yes.
Right? That's
Yeah,
really hard.
yeah. It's hard, guys. It's hard to own your
Yeah,
business.
it's
It's
not for
full.
everyone.
Yeah,
Might look like sunshines and rainbows
I
because
know.
that's the one we don't want you to see the
Yeah,
hard part.
but behind the scenes, it's like crazy.
So that's how you really have to run. You know? There's a
Yeah.
lot of like I don't know. There's a lot of things that they don't teach you, even in business school. To
Mhm.
be honest, like these applications, these things that you're going through on a daily basis, can't be
Mhm.
taught in a classroom, but
Yeah.
you really need the experience. So,
Right.
um, can you consider yourself like really adept at this point? How many years? 2 years?
Three
Full
years
time?
now.
3
Yeah.
years? Uh huh.
Yeah. 3 years.
3 years full
Yeah,
time.
but like I did like wedding videography even before that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm 3 years full time with my business. Hmm.
So that is really a nice way from the hospital to
Yeah.
the weddings, no?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the complete opposite because
But
I want you just see happy
uh-huh.
people.
But what about do you miss like your hospital job? Or was it like it was really hell every day?
Not really. I don't miss it at all. Like every time I would see an office space with a cubicle, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
ever want to go back to being. I don't think I ever want to go back being an employee again. Because I like having this,
The freedom.
freedom. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
I
they
really,
say they say real wealth is like going on a walk on a Thursday afternoon or something.
yes, yes,
And you can't
exactly.
really do that in a 9 to 5.
Yeah, with a 9 to 5, you always have to ask your boss for a time off, and then it's not always guaranteed that they're gonna approve it. So if you're planning to like travel, then it will
Okay.
depend on your
Yeah.
boss.
So
Yeah,
your decisions are based on other people's
yeah,
choices as well. But as a
exactly.
business owner, you have all the freedom to do those, but
Yes,
you are the one taking the consequences, right?
exactly. Yes,
So
yeah,
you choose you. But I'm
yeah.
not saying like not a 9 to 5 may not be for everyone, and a
Mhm.
business also might not be for everyone. So
Yes, yeah. Some people actually prefer to have a 9 to 5. They want
the
a
stability
regular
that you
paycheck. Yeah, because with a 9 to 5, you receive a paycheck every 2 weeks, and then you have free health insurance and all of that benefits. But when you have your own business, you don't have any of that. So you know,
you have
yeah,
to provide for yourself, right?
right, exactly. And the paycheck is not regular, so
Mhm. So you
that's
have to plan everything else. So
yes,
you're
exactly.
also your own accountant.
Yes, yeah.
You're also your own financial manager.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you always have to think about the future. Like, there are months that I'm not doing any wedding. So, what will happen? So you have to like plan on those months too. So, Yeah.
But how about, since you've been doing this for like 3 years, those
Mm,
uncertainties are always there. How do you
yeah.
deal with it? Those uncertainties, like, oh, will I get weddings this year? Or,
Yeah. Yeah. Like during my first year full time, I was always super worried. Even now,
Mhm.
I'm still
Yeah,
worried about
yeah,
because like especially when you don't book a lot of weddings for the year, that's scary because there's bills to pay. So when that feeling comes, like I just try to calm myself down and talk to myself and be like, if this worked last year, it will work again this year. So I just try to stay positive, and instead of like thinking negative things that, oh, I'm not going to book any weddings for next year. I'm just going to go back to another 9 to 5 again. Instead of thinking negatively about it, I just try to work extra hard with like my marketing. I post on my social media. I try to post every day on my social media just so
yeah.
I can reach more people. So yeah, I just work extra hard and just stay positive, because if you just think like negative things, then nothing good will happen.
True.
So,
That's true.
so why do that?
Like, out of the blue,
Hmm.
opportunities will come if you just
Yes.
believe that
Yeah.
they will come.
And I also pray, like I'm a religious person too, so I pray when that happens because prayer does a lot of things. So yeah.
That's great. All right. We're winding down to almost the last part of our show. But before that, let me ask, how many weddings in a year
Hmm.
is your target?
So my target is like from 15 to about 20 weddings
Ooh.
a year. Yeah, because if I do more than that, then I get burnt out
Mhm.
because I do everything by myself. So I like to edit each wedding and like put time on it and put effort on it. So I try to book you know like from 15
15
to
to
20
20.
weddings. Yeah.
That's like less than two a week. Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not really that much. So
Hmm.
it's, once the slots are filled, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. 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 And
So it's like,
as like before I was charging like less, but now like that, I discovered like my brand and my style, then I can target more people that wanted that specific
mm,
style. So yeah, I can like charge a little bit more than what I used to before. So yeah.
of course, when it comes to like charging your
Hmm.
rates, also, you have to understand that your effort should
Yes.
be paid for, right? It's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
like you not every client is your client.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
have to
Because
find those.
not a lot of people understand that as creatives like you, we put a lot of effort to what we do. Like for you, like you're a musician, you've learned that for years. So that's what client pays for, your
Yeah,
experience and not just the day itself. Because people think that, oh, it's just a video, you're just going to take a video for 8 hours, why is it so expensive? Well, yeah, because you're paying for the experience that we have and the talent that we have. And, we pay, we have our stuff too. Like we have to
true,
buy
true.
our cameras, we have to buy your
Yeah.
instruments. So we have to pay for that. We have to pay for taxes and all of that. So that's why we charge what we charge, because of that, because if we don't charge enough, then we won't make any money. So
True.
yeah, I hope that everyone understands that.
Yes. Your rates are what value you give. No.
Yes,
So
exactly.
for a
And
lot
the
of folks.
experience that you're getting to,
Yes.
from us. So yeah, that's what we do it. So
You have to know exactly your worth, because
yeah,
people think it's so easy, right?
yeah,
A lot
hmm
of the clients think like, oh, why are you charging this much for this?
yeah,
But they don't really understand that we have to earn a living also, right?
right,
We can't
yeah,
just, because the problem here in our country, here in the Philippines, is
hmm
especially for us musicians, there's no standard like unionized rate or anything like that.
okay,
So people could charge as low as they can,
yeah,
even though if they compute like things like transportation, food, and all, it ends up like there's the one paying to be able to provide
right,
a service,
yeah,
right?
that's very
So
sad.
a good advice maybe that we could give people is you have to know how much you need to make
Right.
or how much you need to earn in order
Mm-hmm.
for you to make money. Because just going out of your house, going to an event, going to a wedding or elopement for you,
Mm-hmm.
you have gas, you have to eat,
Yes.
you pay toll fees, in the road, all of those things. Your tires need to you
Yeah.
need to buy new tires, you need to buy
Of
new car
expenses.
batteries, you
Yeah.
have to also take those things into account.
Right.
It's not just, it's just your time. It's your
Mm-hmm.
overall effort.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Because to, to be honest, they can't pay for your talent and skills.
Mm-hmm.
Because your talent and skills are priceless. They're
Right.
just paying for your time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand that as
Yeah.
someone who's starting or someone in the same industry as we are as well. Whether
Yeah.
you're in the Philippines or in the US.
Yes,
But you
that's
can
true.
book me in the US. You can book her in the Philippines.
Yes. So I can get
So
a free trip to the
yeah, you
Philippines.
can get that. Okay. So
Yeah.
keep us in mind if you need a videographer and musicians as well.
Yeah, my cousin.
We also offer coffee carts from Daddy
Oh
G.
yeah. Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. They have a coffee shop and they're very talented musicians. So if you need
Yeah.
the musicians for your wedding, book Ryan and Rolf.
You know where to find me. Actually, I book clients on in the US.
Really?
Like I had a client, uh they wanted me to record a string quartet, and it
Nice.
was, I think they had their wedding in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, really? Wow.
2023, I think.
hmm
And then
hmm
I had other clients as well, all from YouTube. So they
That's
saw my videos.
nice.
So, but you can also fly me there if you want.
Okay.
For people who want their wedding to be extra special.
Yeah. If you want to book us for like a package deal, we can do that too.
Yeah, let's set it up. Okay, down to our final segment. I asked every uh guest this question. We
hmm
call this the passion legacy question. If people will remember you for one thing, what do you want it to be?
Wow. Okay. That's a tough question. Well, if I want to be remembered as someone who um followed like my own path rather than what other people wanted for me, what society, thinks that's best for me. Yeah, because I quit my job and I became like a happier. Even my parents, they were like, "Oh wow, you've changed a lot when you quit your job."
You're now talking a lot.
Yeah, I became a happier person, and yeah, it's like a very fulfilling thing that I did for myself, and I'm very proud of that. That I took like the courage to do what is
A lot of
not.
people don't do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Yeah, like following your dreams and just live life, I guess. I want people to remember that, oh, you don't just work all the time. You can, if you want to experience things, you can do it too. So yeah, just do crazy things in life and have fun, and because life is short. So
That's
I want
really
I want for people to remember that life is not just about money; it's about the experience um, with life. So yeah. Thank
great answer. So for
you.
a lot of people, I think we've inspired a lot of people today on this episode of,
Yes.
just thinking about doing things your own way, but
Hmm.
also trying to be careful.
Yes.
It's not like an advice that you just do whatever you want
Yeah.
recklessly and
Yeah, because some
have
people do
a
that
plan.
on YouTube. Like you see a lot of videos that,
Yeah,
oh yeah, just quit your job and you'll be fine. No, it's not true. You also have
you
to like
have to
about
like make
the other
decisions.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. So understand that not everything you see is as easy as it looks,
Yes.
and it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to the
Yes.
thing that you really need. And maybe for people who are just struggling right now, in their workspace, or in whatever they're trying to do,
Mhm.
may this episode inspire you to follow your passion. It doesn't need even just to make money.
Yeah.
For her experience, like just taking photos of landscapes and all, started this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the passion or the thing that you're doing right now that will
Mhm.
get you there, but
Mhm.
maybe something related to that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just do something that makes you happy, and then from there, things will follow.
Right.
So if you like cooking, cook, just cook something, and then yeah,
Maybe
just
you will
share it
sell
to
lumpia.
people. Yeah.
Right? Or you sell like
Right.
isaw.
Yeah. Or leche flan. I make
Hmm.
good leche flan.
Oh, really? We have to taste that before you
Yeah.
make claims like that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I acknowledge you, Miss Angelica Del
Yay.
Rosario,
Thank you for
for
having me.
joining me here. And hope to see you soon. Maybe
Yes.
there, maybe here. I don't
Yes.
know. So if you have something to promote, maybe your website, um, I'll give you the floor to promote your gigs and everything.
Yeah, so if you want to follow me on my Instagram, you can follow me. Like my personal Instagram is Angelica Del Ro, and my business Instagram is Angelica Therese Films. And then yeah, just follow me there, and we'll connect. If you have any questions for me about taking a leap, your message there, and I'll
this
share my
this
experience to you.
great. And also this was a leap for her. I
Yeah.
think this is the first podcast you've ever done. Am I
Yes.
right?
I
Now
was
we're
so
the
nervous
end.
before we went live. I was telling Ryan, I was like, "Oh, I'm so nervous. I've never done this before."
There's always a first, right? All right,
Yeah.
let's like read some of the comments. It's my brother has been commenting.
Oh, really?
Success
Wow.
is not about the money, but more of building memories and making sure to have touch
Yes.
the lives of other people. Char. Yeah. So
I
there's a lot of ways to see success.
yes.
Come on, nervous. All right. So we'll end our episode here.
Yeah.
And I hope you tune in. This will be live on YouTube. We're live right now on YouTube, and this would be on all major podcast platforms. Just subscribe or follow me on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also on YouTube as well, Ryan Monakil. You can uh, follow me on all my socials. All the links you need down in the description box below. This has been Ryan Monakil's The Passion Project with Angelica Del Rosario. more guests coming, and
Yeah.
hopefully we could do a lot more episodes and maybe a part two of this in the
Yeah.
near future.
This is so fun.
All right. So again, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.
Thank you.